Hey there guys, my name's Lorraine and welcome to the journey of me, especially if you're new, and welcome back guys if you follow my channel. And so this little video I wanted to put out, I just wanted to talk about mindsets. You may be thinking, oh, what's that all about? I just want to talk about how we can change our reality by simply changing the way in which we think and see things. Remember, we need to trust ourselves when it comes to what we know to be true about ourselves. You know, we don't want to listen to social media tell us what we are and who we are. You know, we don't want to fall into those traps where we allow certain scenarios to depict who we are as you know, who you are as a person. I want to make it quite clear that it's quite easy to fall into that mainstream trap of thinking that you are just like everybody else, or to be liked by people is to stay in that mind trap. Do you understand? To stay in that mainstream flow of things without coming out of your bubble and standing on your own 2 feet. You know, it's really hard for some people to stand on their own 2 feet if they don't have the strength and the courage to do so, especially if it's stepping outside of your comfort zone, stepping outside of what you believe to be your foundation. Do you understand what I'm saying? It might not be the best to build a foundation on what others perceive it to be, is what I'm saying. You know, you may have watched on social media that certain things should be a certain way, that you need to have this kind of house, you need to have all of these kinds of things here, when in natural fact you may already have that, or you may be working towards that. Sometimes when things are put in front of our faces, especially images and pictures, it can change the way in which we think. It can influence the way in which we do things. Let's say a burger ad, an ad about fish and a burger, chips and a drink. And if we watch that image every day, just about every hour of the day, it can become embedded in us that that is the food to eat. So we're going to want that food all the time, and so we become almost addicted to eating that burger, that chips, and drinking that fizzy drink. But what we don't understand here, guys, is that we've been influenced to think like that. It's that mindset. It's like that's been created by simply looking at images, by simply listening to social media tell us what and how to think, and what is the correct way in which to think, because we're thinking like everybody else. We're thinking that what we see is true, yet we know that it's not. We know that, you know, you can be lied to in front of your face. There's propaganda. Do you understand what I'm saying here? That's the bigger word that I know of, but it has so much connotations within it, and you can break that down to mean certain things for yourself. Propaganda, you can make it big or small, but in the bigger picture, it's normally in the media. Putting that aside, the message I really wanted to talk to you guys about is that if you're wanting to make changes here, it starts with the way in which you think, because the way in which we think is a frequency, guys. It's just untangible. It is a signal that we send out to others. Not only is it the way in which we think, but it's the way in which we feel. That too is also a frequency that we send It's a signal that we send to others, whether it's a good signal, positive, or whether it's a negative signal here. You just have to be careful what kind of signal are you sending, because remember, what you put out is what you get back. And if it's not good, then you won't get good back. You need to understand the laws of reciprocity here. If you don't, then you need to understand that. And so if we're wanting to make changes about ourselves, it can start by a simple thought. Do you know the universe was created on a thought? It was a thought. First, the thought came from nothingness. First there was nothing, then came the thought. Take it how it resonates. It's exactly with the embryo, the thought. There was nothing, then the thought of it. Do you understand? And then the creation. We can create our own realities. We can change the way our own realities by simply changing the way in which we think. That's how powerful the mind is, the brain is. And there is a lot of research out there at this point in time about the way in which we think and how it can influence our reality. How it can influence in the ways in which we manifest here, guys. I've just did a big study. That's my new assignment. I've got so much assignment, so much work when I work a mission, and I love it. I love it. I like to keep connecting the dots. I do love that. I do love connecting the dots when it comes to information and stuff that I've been learning and stuff that I've come to know as to be true. And mission allows that for me. It allows that platform in which I'm able to really tap into new information. And the latest one at this point in time is neuroscience. And so what I'm doing at this time is just listening to the information that's out there. I listen to all walks of life. Yeah, I don't like just listening from one point of view here. I like to see, how it affects all aspects of human life on this planet. In terms of, I don't know if groups is a good word. Yeah, certain types of groups of people, certain peoples out there. Not types, but just certain peoples. It really comes down to what you believe for yourself, how you see yourself, and where you fit in with you. And where you fit in with, I suppose, society. But society has rules and regulations, and they have certain criteria. These are like subtle clues, certain criteria that you need to meet. And, at the end of the day, it does come down to how others value you. Do you understand? And what you need to do is to come away from that. And it starts with the way that you think here, guys. I know that I'll be talking a lot about that on the channel, because this is the new thing I want to add to the journey of me. I've always understood it, but I just didn't really... I know I always knew about it, but I didn't understand it fully. And I'm still working on that. And because it comes down to me understanding who I am and trusting what I know to be true, and trusting that I'm on the correct path when it comes to my mission, when it comes to my purpose here on planet Earth. And, it's when you become a part of the bigger picture for humanity, in a sense, it's it can be quite overwhelming, because of the way in which information is shared these days. Sometimes it's about whether or not you've been shown certain bits of information, or you're or in the chosen field that you've gone to practice and learn theory from, shares the same information that I'm sharing with you. It normally takes either you're enlightened by what I'm saying and you know exactly what I'm talking about, or you've been enlightened to it by others, or you're in collaboration at this point in time with others when it comes to frequencies, untangible frequencies, such as your thoughts and your emotions and the way in which you feel. A good example here is music. Music is untangible. You cannot feel, physically feel the music, the sound waves. But however, you feel it and you hear it, and it does influence the way in which you think and feel. It's like a mood and mind altering substance, really. I don't know if it's a drug, music, but for some people it might be. But the way in which it influences us. Do you understand? That's what I'm talking about here. And our thoughts can do that. So if we're wanting to make subtle changes here for ourselves, guys, it really starts with the way in which we think about ourselves and the world around us. Okay? All right, I'm going to leave it there. And yeah, this is one of many talk videos that I'll be posting on the journey of me. Also, just want to put out there that I'm working on my website, and that should be ready in another month. Okay, guys? All right. See you later.